Hello guys, hi. Welcome to my ASMR channel. My name is Junia, and today we will do like a little chill history lesson. I will tell you about how Kievan Rus, the prototype of modern Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, adopted Christianity, and we will talk about the different Slavic peoples, tribes, their pagan, polytheistic religions. We will talk about Byzantium or Byzantine Empire, the state that we adopted the Christianity, the Eastern Christianity from, and of course we will talk about the Vladimir, Kniaz Vladimir, Prince Vladimir, or Vladimir the Great, or Vladimir the First, who adopted the religion. And that's like my third attempt to make this video. So if you do not mind, sometimes I will be reading off my tablet because it's like pretty difficult and I don't want to make mistakes. And I will also be showing you pictures from this book. Oh, I didn't mention Kniaz Vladimir the First is canonized, so I guess it's correct. He's considered to be a saint in Eastern Orthodox Christianity. So before the Christianization of Kievan Rus, Slavic peoples followed pagan polytheistic religion. They had different idols, different gods, and most of the time they were in each tribe. They had their different gods, but they were gods that were very popular, especially they were popularized by him. So it was Perun, the god of thunder, lightning and war, kind of like Zeus and Thor. Dashtbog, the god of sun. Veles, god of cattle and the underworld. And Mokash, she was a goddess of fertility and women, so women would pray to her, sacrifice, worship her if they wanted to be like cool with kids and giving birth. So these deities worshipped with idols, rituals, animal sacrifices, and festivals. Each tribe or region had its own variations and customs, but paganism is deeply woven into Slavic culture. I think most of the Christian festivals that we have now are somewhat connected with pagan festivals that we used to have, and I think it's the same with Western Church and Eastern, and it doesn't matter like the religion or location, it's always rooted to to the pagan traditions. But I also think like for Slavic people, idols were very important, and I think that's why we in Eastern Christianity we have icons. It's like a symbol. It's easier to pray to when you have the image, I guess. But the Slavic world was not unified. It consisted of various tribes tribes like the Drevlyans, Polans, and Severians. Kievan Rus began to emerge as a more centralized state in the 9th and 10th centuries under the rule of the Rurik or Rurikid dynasty. Vladimir the Great, a prince of the Rurikid line, would eventually become the ruler of this rising state. So, his grandma Olga was actually the first one to adopt Christianity. She was his grandma, and she went to Constantinople or Tsargrad, like the Tsar city, or modern Istanbul, and she wanted to get baptized, and she asked the emperor, like, can I adopt your religion? And he wanted to marry her, so she promised him that she would marry him after she is a Christian. And she was baptized by the patriarch and asked the emperor to become her godfather. And after that, she refused him, saying, how can I marry you? You are my godfather. She tricked him. She's a very cool woman. Like, maybe I make a video about her later. But yeah, her son Svetoslav died pretty early, so his son Vladimir became the ruler of Kievan Rus, and he was ruling from 980 to 1015. In his early years, he was a devout pagan and even expanded the pantheon of gods in Kiev, erecting statues and organizing sacrifices, including reportedly human ones. There is also a legend about the first martyrs of like the Eastern Christianity, and supposedly Vladimir wanted this like little kid to be sacrificed, but his dad was Christian, they were Christians, and he didn't want his son to die, and the crowd killed them with stones, I guess. Yes, but I mean, it's a legend, so we don't know for sure, but they were the first martyrs. Iwan and Fyodor. So in English that would be John and Theodore. Vladimir was known for his strength, political ambition, and many wives and concubines. But as Kievan Rus grew in political power, so did the need for ideological and religious unity. Paganism, with its fragmented tribal variations, could not provide the same cohesion or international status that a monotheistic organized religion could. It doesn't make sense. So you have different tribes that are not united by the same God, and each of them has many gods, so it doesn't click in their head that there is the ruler, the knyaz, the prince, the tsar, the emperor, and many gods. You cannot do connections. So that is the main reason, I guess, why there was a switch to monotheistic religions, because the rulers wanted to be associated with the God, the only God. But Vladimir also wanted to strengthen his rule by aligning with one of the great civilizations of the time, the Byzantine Empire, the Islamic caliphates, the Western Christian kingdoms, the European states, or the Jewish Khazar Khaganate. So, according to the primary chronicle, a 12th century chronicle of Kievan history, Vladimir decided to examine the major world religions before choosing one for his people. He sent out envoys to observe how different peoples worshipped. There's a picture here. So Vladimir, on his throne, and the envoys. Islam. The envoys visited Bulgars who followed Islam. Vladimir reportedly rejected Islam after learning that it forbade pork and alcohol. He is said to have remarked, "Drinking is the joy of the Rus." Judaism. The envoys learned about the Jewish faith from the Khazars, but Vladimir rejected it because the Jews had lost their homeland, seeing this as a sign of divine disfavor. For those who don't know, Jewish people got their land back only after the World War II. Israel. And Western Christianity, they observed Roman Catholic rituals in the German land, but found the services dull and lacking in beauty. And I think comparing the services, like the Eastern and Western ones are more vibrant. Like we have all the golden stuff, golden gates, like altars, the icons, all of that. It's pretty cool. And Eastern Orthodoxy. Finally, the envoys visited Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire. When they entered the Hagia Sophia and witnessed the splendor of the Orthodox liturgy, incense, chanting, and iconography, they were overwhelmed. They said that did not know whether they were in heaven or on earth. This powerful impression reportedly swayed Vladimir toward Eastern Christianity or Orthodox Christianity. If you can see, it kind of reminds like this style of churches is very similar to Muslim mosques. So actually, Muslim people, when they took Istanbul, they kind of adopted this style for their faith. But we also got these round domes. So in Eastern Christianity, our churches have these round domes. I mean, sometimes we can have kind of spiky domes too, but this is the most popular, like the round. Okay. Around the same time, a Byzantine Emperor Basil II was facing a rebellion and needed military aid. Vladimir offered him 6,000 troops in exchange for the hand of the emperor's sister, Princess Anna. Marrying a Byzantine princess was a huge diplomatic opportunity for Vladimir. It would legitimize his rule and elevate Kievan Rus in the eyes of other Christian nations. However, there was a condition: Vladimir had to convert to Christianity. The deal nearly fell through, so Vladimir launched a campaign and captured the Byzantine city of Cherson, in present-day Crimea. This gave him the upper hand in negotiations. After this show of strength, Basil agreed to the marriage, and Vladimir formally converted to Christianity. So there is actually a legend about priest Anastasi, and from this Kherson city, he learned that Vladimir didn't really want to hurt the citizens, but he was actually trying to get converted to Christianity. So he shot an arrow with a note that shared the location for like tubes, pipes with water. So city would get the water from those sources, and Knyaz Vladimir just buried these. He blocked the water. So in order not to die of thirst, the city surrendered. So Vladimir was baptized in Chersonesus in 988. Some legends say that he was blinded before his baptism, and that his sight was miraculously restored upon being baptized, symbolizing spiritual enlightenment. So yeah, here is the picture of him being baptized. That's the patriarch, that's Anna, the princess. After his baptism, he married Princess Anna and returned to Kiev with Byzantine clergy and advisors. Back in Kiev, Vladimir began one of the most significant cultural shifts in East Slavic history. He destroyed pagan idols, including the prominent statue of Perun, which was thrown into the Dnieper River. He ordered the mass baptism of the people of Kiev in the river, with priests performing rites and mass. He built churches and invited Byzantine architects and clergy to help establish Christian worship and literacy. There is a saying that князь Владимир крестил Русь огнем и мечом. Prince Vladimir baptized Rus with fire and a sword. So many people didn't want to convert to Christianity, but they were forced to do so with like a sword, literally. He promoted the use of Church Slavonic, thanks to earlier work by Saint Cyril and Methodius. Our alphabet is borrowed by Bulgarians. Bulgaria, thank you for the alphabet. So this conversion was not entirely peaceful. There was resistance in some regions, especially from pagan priests and rural tribes. But Vladimir used both persuasion and force to spread Christianity throughout his realm. So, Prince Vladimir's decision permanently shaped the spiritual and cultural identity of the region. He was later canonized as Saint Vladimir, also known as equal to the apostles, disciples, by the Eastern Orthodox Church. His conversion laid the foundation for over 1,000 years of Orthodox Christianity in the lands of modern-day Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus. So guys, I hope it was interesting and you learned something new and it was relaxing. Subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my Telegram channel, and share what topics, what like history periods you would like me to tell you about. And I hope you didn't mind my reading, because with history I